Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new segment on Soda with Sandy, and it's Soda with my family, pretty much. And I thought, what better topic to talk about than the recent Telugu blockbuster film that's making waves across international media. RRR just got nominated for 2 Golden Globe Awards for Best non-English Picture as well as for Best Original Score. And both my parents grew up in the Telugu states, and they grew up around a lot of Telugu fan culture and around the euphoria around Telugu cinema. Did you ever expect that Telugu cinema is gonna make waves beyond just the states and now almost the probability of the Oscars, like everyone's been talking about?
Go ahead, talk.
Yeah, we never expected that. ఎవరు ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేసిండరు, మేమే కాదు.
తీసిన వాళ్ళు కూడా చెప్పారు కదా, ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయట్లేదు అని.
ఎస్, సో దట్ టు వెన్ వీ వర్ గ్రోయింగ్ అప్, ఆస్కర్స్ వర్ లైక్ జస్ట్ ఏ ఫ్యాంటసీ ఫర్ we never expected a Indian movie, not only Telugu, we never expected an Indian movie to made it to the international level.
International, right?
Yes.
What was something when you guys were growing up? Give me the thing. It's like we're new to the mics as well. Even this is my first time recording on a wireless mic. So it's pretty much leveling up to like a wireless mic. But yeah, you said, what was a Telugu film that you guys grew up with, which you saw that like the effects were beyond what like regular Telugu cinema was? And before that, what was regular Telugu cinema like for you both growing up?
So, when we were very small, something like Maya Bazaar happened to be something out of the box. They thought, and one song, Lahiri Lahiri, I was told that somebody from US came down to shoot that, and in fact they shot that song in the afternoon, and it appears in the movie that it is in the moonlight. So that made some news. Post that, I think there was a lot of social movies and mythological movies and all that stuff. They used to create some effects, but that effects actually took a different level when Siva movie came. From my experience perspective, and there they used a different camera for fights. And it seems that made it one type of change. And post that, definitely Rajamouli, and there are a lot of different directors came with different genres. They started focusing on. Rajamouli's focus and strength seemed to be his way of storytelling, basically. And he never bothered about in his movies, the hero is the story. Director is a hero. That appeared to be something, and he doesn't compromise on the quality, time, and for him, he will not start a movie saying, okay, I need to release on so-and-so date. So there is a joke going around that, okay, maybe Bahubali 3 will be released when both the heroes will be old, something like that. So
Yeah, to your point, right? Actually, Telugu movies' main focus will be on the story. It's like family oriented. Okay, they're all mostly, when we were growing up, it was like not much on the what you call that VFX, they were not there that time. So it's basically about the storytelling. At certain point of time, it's basically for the family audience. It's like family stories, like it would be like mainly emotions and that kind of stories. Slowly it emerged and it went to that youth-based stories. They started coming. And actually like love stories and that. So later that change ఏమైందంటే వీళ్ళు ఎక్కువ యాక్షన్ మూవీస్ వచ్చాయి ఆఫ్టర్ 90s. సమ్ యాక్షన్ మూవీస్ దే స్టార్టెడ్ కమింగ్. సో యాక్షన్ మూవీస్ దెన్ థ్రిల్లర్స్. సో ఎట్ దట్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ అట్ రామ్ గోపాల్ వర్మ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ సమ్ టెక్నికల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ ఇన్ టు ద మూవీ. సో అక్కడ చేంజ్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది అనమాట. అప్పటిదాకా ఒక కైండ్ ఆఫ్ మూవీస్ లైక్ ఫ్యామిలీ జనరల్ స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్, సమ్ ఓకే కొన్ని సాంగ్స్, కొన్ని ఎమోషనల్ సీన్స్, కొంత మెలో డ్రామా లైక్ దట్ అలా ఉండేది. తెలుగు మూవీస్ ఆర్ మోస్ట్లీ లైక్ దట్. ఎదర్ దట్ ఆర్ ఒక లవ్ స్టోరీ, ట్రయాంగిల్ లవ్ స్టోరీ, సమ్ ట్రాజడీ అండ్ లైక్ దట్. స్లోలీ రామ్ గోపాల్ వర్మ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ ద టెక్నికల్ వాల్యూస్ ఇన్ టు ద మూవీస్. సో అది అప్పుడు పీపుల్ స్టార్టెడ్ థింకింగ్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. ఓకే, వై డోంట్ వీ డూ దట్? సో అతని మూవీస్లో కొంత హాలీవుడ్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఉంది అని కూడా మాట్లాడుకునేవాళ్ళు పీపుల్. సో వెన్ పీపుల్ స్టార్టెడ్ లైకింగ్ దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ మూవీస్, దట్ చేంజ్. ఓకే, వీ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ టు డూ సంథింగ్. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ డైరెక్టర్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు, ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడుకోవాల్సిన ఇంకొక డైరెక్టర్ ఎవరంటే ఆ టెక్నికల్ వాల్యూస్ తీసుకొచ్చిన డైరెక్టర్ ఫ్రమ్ సౌత్, శంకర్. సో ఇన్ హిజ్ మూవీస్ అంటే అవన్నీ కూడా కొంచెం లార్జర్ దాన్ లైఫ్ లైక్ ఉంటుంది, పెద్ద. దే ఆర్ ఆన్ ద హై బడ్జెట్ మూవీస్ ఇన్ సింపుల్ సెన్స్ వీ కెన్ సే. అంటే పెద్ద పెద్ద సెట్స్ అవన్నీ కూడా అతను ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేశాడు. సో అక్కడి నుంచి చేంజ్ కొత్త స్టార్ట్ అయింది. స్లోలీ రాజమౌళి ఏం చేశాడంటే హీ మిక్స్డ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. సో హీ డిడ్ నాట్ లూజ్ ద స్టోరీ. స్టోరీ మీద కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంటుంది, దెన్ హ్యూమన్ ఎమోషన్స్ మీద అతను ఉంది, అండ్ హీ కవర్డ్ ఆల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ మూవీ ఇంక్లూడింగ్ దట్ విఎఫ్ఎక్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ ద టెక్నికల్ థింగ్స్. దట్స్ వేర్ హీ స్టూడ్ అవుట్ ఇన్ మై ఒపీనియన్.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Even when I was growing up, right, and like when I was in Bangalore and like my early schooling days, like most people did not watch a lot of South Indian films. South Indian films were just the movies that showed up on like Sony Max, like the dubbed versions of it. And yeah, everyone's been talking about how like South Indian movies have like really garnered the media's attention, but from a general perspective, there wasn't a lot of, like basically even the kids would prefer watching like Hindi cinema or English movies in a city like Bangalore when I was growing up. And like, okay, sometimes we went to like a Mahesh Babu movie, like to go, like that's because it was mainly like focused on like that, like big heroism and stuff like that was the main thing. Bahubali really changed stuff up a lot, and Magadhira did as well. Because Magadhira, Iga, and like basically because that like crossed boundaries. They weren't like only Telugu films. That's something I feel, because I really like Trivikram Srinivas's movies, but that's something that's a nuance that is mainly meant for the Telugu audience. Like they're great movies, but like
very light-hearted movies.
And also that's focused on a certain region.
Exactly.
It's how Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a very American movie at the end of the day. It's like that's an American high school experience. You can't basically set that up in a different country like India or China and do it. Like
Yeah, you cannot. Yeah.
Rajamouli's films surpassed boundaries because they weren't rooted in a culture, but they were rooted in like central India of sorts. Because Bahubali, it could happen anywhere across India. Like it's like a
Not in India, it's like
everywhere,
it's
yeah.
a global story, like when a king and yes, the kingdom and the fight between the siblings, right? It's a very global story. So that's how it's like most like a Simba, Lion King. Yes, so there is a similarity. So that's how it reached. Yes. And also, while we are talking about RRR, why it captured the attention of all the people in US or globally, what I could see is now, see, there are many good movies in India. Why only RRR, we can say? What I am thinking, see, most of if you take Bollywood or whatever, they're showcasing the Western culture mostly, just to please the audience or whatever the songs or whatever you take. It's of the mostly of the Western culture. So people they don't see. If you talk about US, they don't want that which they know it, right? Already people know what is the culture here, so they don't want to see that from a foreign country. So they're looking for something which belongs to the country. Maybe that's how it should be, right? So if you are expecting something from a different country, it should show his culture, everything. So that maybe that's where RRR stood out, I feel.
Yeah, that is one, and that's a good point. Apart from that, okay, Slumdog Millionaire also
Yes.
got that type of attention earlier. But what happened was, if you take Mira Nair's movies and all those things, exactly what it showcased in the global cinema, right? Indian movies means the type of poverty and all that stuff. It never came to this level where even Lagan was like that, like the poor India fighting against Brit at the time. So this is rightly the Indian story, and he actually very cleverly combined Indian story and Indian independence story. Some of the characters resemble the Indian independence story, and background score and the way he shot that whole stuff, everything was fantastic. And in fact, when frankly, when I came out of this movie, I thought, oh, the Bahubali 1 was much better than this, but everyone started liking it because of these aspects, is what I feel.
I mean, yeah, like I personally liked Bahubali as well, but that's possibly because I also like Prabhas and everything, and that plays into you someone. Like he looked cool playing Bahubali. He had like that physique, he had everything. So it's like that movie has like that like cool appeal as well. So you can't deny that. But yeah, like, do you still like think Bahubali? Like, did you still personally enjoy Bahubali more? You said you did. I did. What do you say? Do you like this? Did you enjoy this more or Bahubali more?
Yeah,
Bahubali takes to Chandamama stories. It is something like that. It's a
ఏది నచ్చింది మామూలుగా ఏది నచ్చింది
it's like comparing apples and oranges.
అది రెండు సినిమాల్లో ఏది నచ్చింది అన్నాను అంతే.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like two different things, right? I like both. I liked it, yeah.
But out of like all of Rajamouli's films till now, personally, I liked Magadira the most.
I like Iga.
Iga?
Yeah.
Nico?
Bahubali 1.
Yeah, apart from this, that most talked about movies, I like Iga. Yeah.
What about like, were you both like familiar with when he started out? Like, was he as big a name? Like, how did that happen? Like, do you guys remember like early Rajamouli era films and stuff?
Of course. Actually, first movie ne Student Number 1 అప్పట్లో సాంగ్స్ కానీ అవన్నీ బాగా హిట్ అయ్యాయి. యా దెన్ లేటర్ ఆల్సో దట్ సింహాద్రి వచ్చినప్పుడు యాక్చువల్లీ ఆ స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్కి అందరూ చాలా ఫ్లాట్ అయిపోయారు జనాలందరూ. అంటే అది చాలా బాగా హిట్ అయింది ఆ సినిమా అప్పట్లో. అండ్ ఈవెన్ మర్యాద రామన్న యాక్చువల్లీ అంటే ఎన్నిసార్లు టీవీలో వచ్చినా అలానే కూర్చొని చూసేవాళ్ళు. ఈవెన్ అక్కడ ఎవరు ఎంత పెద్ద సూపర్ స్టార్ని పెట్టుకోకుండా తీసిన సినిమా అయినా సరే ద సౌండ్ ట్రాక్ ఎప్పుడు బాగుంటుంది ఆయన మూవీస్లో. ఇంకోటి దట్ గ్రిప్పింగ్ స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఆల్వేస్.
Yeah, because the best part is their family gives that whole package, and looks like the DNA together makes a magic, probably, because కాస్ట్యూమ్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే మ్యూజిక్ కానీ స్టోరీ కమ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ హిస్ డాడ్, మ్యూజిక్ కమ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ హిస్ బ్రదర్, హీ ఈస్ ద డైరెక్టర్ అండ్ హీ హాస్ గాట్ a good skill of selecting the right cast for his story, and his son takes care of the whole set management and wife takes care of costumes, so it's a turnkey project for them almost.
Yeah, no, good for them. They basically, like, if they win, like, pretty much like Keeravani got like the nomination for the Golden Globe as well, right? And wasn't that his song one of your like favorite songs in the Venkatesh movie?
What is that?
Jamuratri Jabilamma, Kshanakshana movie, right? You're talking about that one. Yes.
Yeah, that is again Ram Gopal Varma's The Best Days. Again, that's a time when if we're talking about songs, apatlo every South Indian movie had only Ilayaraja as a music director, and that's when Keeravani brought a different change, and along with a director Ram Gopal Varma, and that guy is very, very different. We all know that. And he actually, probably I can say, taught technicalities to the Indian or South Indian cinema, especially Telugu cinema, no doubt.
Mentioned a couple of times that he used to like.
Yeah. So basically, it all transformed over the period with this type of people. అండ్ ఒకప్పుడు ఏమయ్యేది, బీట్స్ విపరీతంగా ఉండేవి, వీటన్నిటితో పాటు మెలోడీని తీసుకొచ్చారు వీళ్ళు, అండ్ పీపుల్ స్టార్టెడ్ లైకింగ్ ఇన్ దిస్ బిజీ లైఫ్. ప్రాబబ్లీ ఎవ్రీవన్ వాంటెడ్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్ ఎట్ ద టైమ్. అగైన్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే ఆమె చెప్పినట్టుగా ద కల్చర్, అవర్ కల్చర్ ఈజ్ probably heavily getting influenced with Western culture, and maybe these people try to bring in the softness back,
the nativity
back. So ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు చూస్తే శంకరాభరణం, only because of music it became a national movie. సో దీని ముందు ఒకప్పుడు చెప్పేవాళ్ళు మేరా నామ్ జోకర్ మూవీ రష్యాలో వచ్చిందని, ముత్తు సినిమా జపాన్లో ఆడిందని. సో ఫ్రమ్ దోస్ డేస్, ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఈవెన్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటర్నెట్, లాస్ట్ 10 years is lot different than any year before, right? So Twitter, if something happens previously, okay, maybe 15 years back, ఎక్కడన్నా ఏదైనా జరిగితే ఆ తర్వాత ఒక 24 hours తర్వాత మనకు తెలిసేది. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ తెలిసిపోతున్నది. అది మనవాడే చెప్పక్కర్లే, ఎవడో ఒకటి చెబుతాడు మనకి ఆ విషయం. సో అవేర్నెస్ ఈజ్ మోర్, అండ్ ద స్పీడ్ అట్ విచ్ ద మెసేజ్ రీచెస్ టు గ్లోబల్ ఆడియన్స్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఎట్ దట్ స్పీడ్.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, Parasite happened like 2 years ago, and that opened the Western audience towards Eastern art in a way. And Parasite won an Oscar, and suddenly we saw how much money or how much recognition South Korea got as a country. Exactly. Like, because it's, yeah, before that you were talking about how Rajamouli was under the thing where, like, okay, ఇన్ని రోజులకు ఒక సినిమా రిలీజ్ చేయాలి. అండ్ దట్స్ బేసిక్లీ హౌ ద ఇండియన్ ఫిల్మ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ యూస్ టు వర్క్, అన్లెస్ యూఆర్ basically like on the top of the charts like Shah Rukh or Amitabh Bachchan or something like that. Usually like regular things work like that, and like people like delivered stuff like okay year ke di like 2 years long project types. James Cameron made Avatar 2 after 12 years of not directing, or 10 plus years at least, and no one really batted an eye because that was his artistic form of expression and he did it when he wanted to. And that's when you release a film. Like I think, okay, Rajamouli could have still looked at it in the terms of some sort of business model, but his art took precedence over the business at like the end of the day, and that's what resulted in it. And మనం ఇందాక మాట్లాడుకున్నట్టు మేబీ లైక్ రీచ్ అవ్వాలి అని తీస్తే అక్కడికి వెళ్ళవు సినిమాలు యూజువల్గా. ఇప్పుడు బ్యాక్ టు ద ఫ్యూచర్ అయినా ఏ సినిమా అయినా నో వన్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ లైక్ క్లాసిక్ లెవెల్కి వెళ్తుంది అని. అది తీసుకుందామని తీసేవాళ్ళు చాలామంది ఉంటారు, కానీ ఎక్కదాకా వెళ్ళదు అంతే.
అంతే కదా, మన సిస్టంలోనే అది ఎప్పుడోనే చెప్పారు కదా భగవద్గీతలో, రిజల్ట్ గురించి చేయకుండానే చేసినప్పుడే మంచి రిజల్ట్ వస్తుంది ఎప్పుడైనా. యూ షుడ్ నాట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్, బట్ చేసే పని 100% చేయమని చెప్తారు కదా, దెన్ ఇట్ గివ్స్ ద గుడ్ రిజల్ట్స్ అంతే. మేబీ హీస్ ఫాలోయింగ్ దట్ ప్రిన్సిపల్. సో దట్స్ ద థింగ్.
Yeah, no, that's true. And also ikkada there's like the work of multiple people, like
that
and
is
like
true.
that.
Yeah, without compromising and delivering his thing properly.
Because you don't know, because maybe like we can only hope for the next thing. Ippudu Avatar vastundi, and right now all the reviewers are like it's amazing, and we're recording on Wednesday before the release, so we don't know like what the actual movie's talk is going to be, but now the reviewers are saying we should have never doubted him, and he's delivered like some of the biggest blockbusters the world's ever seen. He's made Terminator, he's made Titanic, he's made Avatar, and that's just like 3 that I remember.
Yes. But definitely one thing for sure, see, we need to be proud that people at least they know that there is an industry. So India doesn't mean that's Bollywood. Now everyone knows that. So yeah, that itself is a great achievement. So ours is a very big industry. Indian film is, but it's not just Bollywood. We have many other things, and Rajamouli. Credit goes to Rajamouli, right? Undoubtedly.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
we should wish him and his team all the best.
Yes, definitely.
They should get more nominations and more awards on the global level, and they deserve it.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, hopefully they are nominated for the Oscars, and let's see what happens. Then basically he's gonna get to like work with more budgets, more technicians to tell like bigger stories that no one in India has actually seen before. There's actually so many like grassroots level stories, and they need the budget to be told. Like a movie like Dune that released last year with Timothée Chalamet and stuff. That film, like, no one even knows like what the budget is. It's like that high, and like some stories really need that kind of budget to be told on such a big scale where everyone turns and like looks at it and is like, wow.
Yeah, that's true. Anything to say?
No.
Yeah, good.
Yep. Okay then, that was the first episode, and let's hope like RRR gets like a lot of nominations and wins a few awards on like global stage. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Soda with the Fam.
నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నా